Here's the bad story today from Wake County, North Carolina. A woman named Jessica Price spoke with WRAL News earlier this week. She was walking her dogs and saw two copperheads mating. What? Mating. And she said, that was it for me.
At that point, I was in fight or flight, got my dogs out first thing first.
And then
she flighted.
She flighted.
Yeah.
She said, I've got to get out of here. No dogs were bitten. No people were bitten. But she said those copperheads were wrapped around each other, intertwined.
Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer.
Mating.
Look at this pervert. I ain't stopping.
They didn't stop. They kept on going. I saw video. She took video of it. I saw
the mating process.
The mating process. They're all wrapped around you.
She didn't rush off too fast, did she?
My God.
To get video.
I'll tell you.
You like what you see?
You talk about disgust. These two disgusting animals, these poisonous snakes doing this.
Is this one of the, usually this is a segment where we'll take phone calls from people like you guys, country living, saying, this is how snakes mate, pop, 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 and then it's, factual error after factual error.
Yeah.
Well, these two were intertwined around each other, just moving and
That's how they do it?
slithering up and against each
The
other.
mating season for copperheads?
It is. It's mating season for copperhead, so they're most deadly right now.
They are?
Really?
I made that part up, but they give birth like in September, so they gestate over the summer and they give birth. It's
Do
like
they regurgitate?
Yeah, they regurgitate
Regurgitation's in the fall.
in the fall. That she called in, the woman who found the mating copperheads called in snake expert Milt Morgan. And Milt says that he never, ever wants to harm any animal. He relocates snakes away from neighborhoods. She lives in a fairly wooded neighborhood, but there are lots of houses around. And he said, if you see a mating snake, it's because they need some privacy.
They're finding a convenient place, normally away from the ability of a hawk or an owl to see them in a compromised position and be able to swoop down on them.
Imagine that if you're like a hungry hawk or an owl.
You get
two for one.
2 for 1?
It's like Bogo.
God bless the hawks and owls, I say.
And the poor snakes.
Yeah.
They got to be like, oh, my God. I'm right in
Circle
the
of life.
I'm right in the middle. It's like a horror movie.
I've had the time of my
It's like one of these Friday the 13th movies. They always get killed right after they have sex.
Yes.
Right
It'll
after.
teach you.
That's what happens. Sam, you're talking about snake breeding. Go ahead.
Hey guys, C1.
Thank you.
I breed snakes, and I was telling Biggie that when they copulate, they actually, we call it, they lock. It's similar to like with dogs. So the male would not have been able to get away from the female.
Right.
So they definitely would not have been able to get away together.
That's how it is, isn't it?
That's how they get you, son.
You got that right, sugar.
Dave, you know how it is.
You ain't getting away.
You're locked in now.
Pretty soon you're buying a house.
Sponsored by Master Lock.
You're picking out China patterns.
That's how you kick them to the curb.
Then it's over to Baby Gap.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it. Here's Milt Morgan. He says, if you see mating snakes, here's what you do.
Avoid them because, at that point, those snakes have got more on their mind than a dog or a person.
That's right. They've got the candles lit.
Yeah.
They've got the soft music going.
That's right. He just spent a ton of money on
That's
her.
right.
I'm trying to do my thing, and these dogs are barking.
Middle of the afternoon like that.
That's right.
Copperheads and Carborough.
That's right. Finally, the homeowner who was walking her dogs near the mating copperhead said she's learned a lesson because the first thing she wanted to do was kill them. And she said, no, we shouldn't do that.
And I know now what to do next. And I want everybody else to just have a little bit more clarity and a little bit more calmness and perhaps some compassion.
Compassion.
Clarity, calmness, compassion. The three C's of Copperheads. Copperhead, copulation, compassion. What are the other two? I forgot.
Is it clarity?
Clarity.
Compassion.
And caring.
And caring. Let's hear it again. There's three things.
And I know now what to do next. And I want everybody else to just have a little bit more clarity and a little bit more calmness and perhaps some compassion.
Compassion, clarity, calmness. That's what Copperhead, copper clapping.
That's right. That's it.
Said the cuckold.
That's it. Now, the thing was, he says I relocate them, but if they're, we've had a very famous call here about gurgitating water snakes that are poisonous. And the man who called said he killed mom, dad, and every baby when he saw them.
It was his duty to wipe them out.
To wipe out the entire...
Because there were a lot of kids around.
And it's like, do you kill poisonous snakes?
Was this one of those things where if they had... they remember the maps that went around a few years back that showed you where the sex predators were in your neighborhood?
Yeah.
If you were to do that with the same thing with snakes, I think you might be shocked at how many venomous snakes are around you.
Do you think it's like sharks?
Especially you, because you're in the country.
In the woods. Do you think there are sharks? Like when you're out in the ocean, they say sharks are near you. Do you think it's the same way with snakes? If I'm in my backyard, if I'm within 200 yards of a snake, you think?
My wife sure thinks so.
Of some sort, yes. Not necessarily poisonous.
Not necessarily poisonous. Yeah, that's the thing.
Black snake.
Yeah.
Rat snake.
Probably. Yeah, probably so. One time.
Do they have to introduce themselves when they move in? I don't want to make this a big thing. I'm a venomous snake.
By law, you have to be here. That's right.
Yeah, by law, I have to introduce myself. I live over there. You make one mistake when you're younger.
I copulated in front of a 6-year-old.
Yeah. My light will be off on Halloween, so you know.
Listen,
Don't send the kids.
Listen, I won't bother you. You don't bother me.
Bother me. Exactly. One time we put snake away around the perimeter. And
is that a powder?
Yes. And it was $300. It was a $300 powder. And I have stopped it from happening since because I didn't want to spend the money.
Yeah, you got to do it every season.
You're supposed to do it every year, like this time. And the one time we put it out, a copperhead immediately crawled out. And the guy who was spreading it said, "Oh, yeah, they don't like that, do they?" And he killed it. He killed it immediately.
I've always heard you kill the poisonous ones.
I think so.
That's what Daddy said.
Me too.
I'm sure biologists would tell you they serve a purpose.
Of course they do.
In the circle.
I mean, attitudes may be changing.
Other snakes do eat poisonous snakes.
Sure.
And of course the hawks and the
Right,
ravens
right,
eat
right,
whatever.
right.
They don't care.
Well, you heard Milt Morgan.
I heard Milt.
He says,
when Milt Morgan speaks,
you listen. The best thing to do?
Avoid them.
All right.
Got it.
No problem. All right. I got it. Exactly. My favorite snake call we've ever gotten on this program was from military man who was having to...
That's a neck and neck, though, with gurgitate.
Gurgitate. Boy, they're so close. They're so close.
Is this Gooch Man?
Yes, it's Gooch. This is, ladies and gentlemen, Gooch.
I was on military duty down in Fort Stewart, Georgia, and I ate a certain brand of pizza that gives me the trots, like, right away. So out in the woods, middle of nowhere, I'm looking for a place to do my business, and I find this nice little group of trees. There's 3 trees. I can just drop trowel and lean my fanny up against the trees and take care of my business. And I do that, and I get my nice, comfortable position, and I look down between my legs toward my boots just to make sure that I'm not going to relieve myself on my uniform. And there, coiled up at the base of these 3 trees, is about a 5.5-foot timber rattler that's about as big around as my arm. In a signature S strike pose, ready to bite me in the gooch. I decide that I'm going to relieve myself.
And did you poo on it?
How did you play it? Now I think you've got 1 of 3 out. Do you poo on it?
Poo on it.
Quietly sneak
Hop away.
Hop away, or did you run like hell? What did you do?
I ran. Usain Bolt couldn't have caught me. I was like throwing my wipes as I ran, not knowing what to do. But any good tracker could have followed me because I kind of left the trail of my business through the woods.
I think they call that bear scat in nature.
But you got away from that snake.
I sure did.
Incredible call. Incredible call from a P1 who you heard. I mean, he almost got him in the gooch.
A snake.
Kept his gooch there.
Grant, a snake story. We've had a woman now see some copulating copperheads. Go ahead, Grant.
Yes, sir. P1 guys, love y'all.
Thank you.
When I was in high school, I bought a few snakes to keep my mother out of my room, and one of them was a fully grown ball python. Well, it could get out of its cage, and it never worried me because it would only go to my closet and a couple other places. But it got gone one time, and my mama could see the snakes when she walked by my room, and she was asking me, what did you do with it? Well, I didn't want to scare her, so I told her I sold it. Well, 3 months go by, It's after school, and I'm at a buddy's house, and she calls me going absolutely ballistic because the snake has come out and is trying to climb up the stairs. You know, I guess it got hungry or whatnot, but she still never let me live it down.
No, I would think not.
I hope you stop lying to her.
Yeah, that's right. My God. And I hope you didn't. We used to have a cat.
Yeah. What's upstairs? The kitchen?
Wow. Thank you, Grant.
Little sister.
A small child.
I mean, he said some time went by.
Looking for something to eat.
I guess it did get hungry.
Mom, stay out of my room.